guys, Jeff here, and I think, could be wrong, but I think the day has finally come. I'm gonna try the Kwikset Smartkey. Currently working. I have a couple keys that I change it between sometimes, but this is the one I've been working on. And yeah, let's see if we can get her done. Now, I have made a few changes. For any of you who watched like my live or anything else where I was working on this, I found that going up a thickness in my tensioner from the Longhorn tensioner works better. And I also learned, which is a lesson I've learned before, but why do I have to keep relearning it? It helps to go between picks. So I'm going between the Reaper set number 3 and the Reaper set number 4. Still have to keep some serious tension on there. But let's see if we can get in there in a reasonable amount of time. Always takes a little bit for me to kind of dial in my tension because I know I need heavy tension, but there is definitely such a thing as too heavy of tension. Also got to know when it's time to switch back and forth. It's still not perfect, it's still not consistent. Sometimes I can get the whole thing done with the number 3, but the number 4 usually seems to encourage things along, knowing that if you saw the key that I did, there are some high lifts, high cuts in the middle part there. Alright, so we're making any progress. Usually it starts to basically act almost like false sets when we're making progress. Yes, we're making some progress. I think we're almost there, actually. I'm telling you, it is hard to describe what I'm feeling and what I'm doing, which is why this is taking me so freaking long. This is definitely me documenting for the sake of purple belt more than it is a how-to. There are definitely other people who can do better how-tos. I will say this is like a Gen 1 or a Gen 2 for the smart lock, which my only advice is work it progressively. I have been moving wafers around in here, going 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4. And just keep working until I found what worked for me. And speaking of what works for me, this doesn't seem to be working for me right now. Wondering if it's time for a reset. Of course, I found that when I feel like resetting, I'm often close. So it's a fine balance between pushing through to finally get that open and knowing when things are overset and I just have to restart. Not finding anything that's giving me that pushback that tells me what wafer I need to work on right now, though. Just give it a few more pokes before we're going to reset and try again. Yeah, I think it might be time for a reset. But compared to some of my other attempts, it's still early. It's not a bad time for a reset. Yeah, we'll do it. All right, at least there was a lot of good clicks saying I had a lot of stuff going in the right direction. So we're going to try this again. Try to get myself to calm down a little bit, slow down a little bit. because I have found that I get a little too excited, a little too overzealous, and so I'll start pushing a little too hard with the pick, perhaps tensioning a little too hard, and it's all just that fine. Heck yes, can you see that? Now, I have learned, dear viewers, I have learned that with this fully populated at 5, that if I go the full 90 degrees, which is the spot where you can reset it, it locks up and I have to completely gut the thing. But you can see I've got the play, and I also have to say that this is one of the most satisfying locks that I've picked, and the fact that when it picks, it is so smooth running around there. But you can definitely see it is free spinning, so we're going to put it back so I don't lock the whole thing up. Let's go ahead and demonstrate the feature, the quick change feature as well. Push that in, and let's go to that guy. So you can see quick change feature works. If I go back to my original key, it no longer works. And again, that key is working, but also this is for my purple belt submission. So let's make sure we show that everything is up to snuff. We're gonna gut this, show all the parts in there. Grab this guy out. All right, so there is the main housing. I am excited because that is one of my quicker picks, and it's actually been crazy because I've been working on this thing for so long, and I actually, as of the time of recording this, only yesterday did I put the 5th wafer in, but I was feeling so good with 4 wafers, and it was only since I changed up my tools. I was feeling so good with 4 wafers that I was like, let's put in 5 wafers. I just put it in yesterday, only really started picking on it today, but I felt confident, and heck yeah, here we go. All right, so yeah, putting the key in so that way we can show that that's all still working, and also to make it easier to pull it out here. There's that. There's the sidebar. You get a good view there. Want to make sure that we know that there's no funny business. There are no wafers down here ahead of time. We will turn the cassette over, give it a little tap just to be sure. There you go. There are all 5 wafers in place. See if I can reassemble it without any problems. Nope, there will be problems. Yep, wafer fell out. Where are my tweezers? I don't have to reassemble it, but it just seemed right after fighting this thing for so long to actually put it back together on camera as well. Although if you watched my live for the Lockjaw Night Watch, then you've already seen me do the assembly, reassembly ad nauseum, it feels like. Okay, yeah, you saw that they were all there. It is fighting with me. Apparently this lock is not happy to have finally been whipped on camera. So I have already shown previously that I can reassemble a lock. So this one might just get reassembled off camera. No. It looks good. Looks good. So we're going to try one more time. Just have all those lined up before we try to go there. Yeah, they're not lining up right. Okay. Well then, I guess I won't do it in this video. I won't get the reassembly. Why not? What is... Okay, yep. That's too much of an issue. We will do this off camera, but there we go. There is the Kwikset Smart Lock. And again, where are we there? Here is the sidebar, which I know is the proof that we are looking at, what was I told, Gen 1, Gen 2? I think it's Gen 2. But there we go. It is complete. Woohoo! That should mean I've got my purple belt after I submit everything and go through all the channels. Thank you for everyone who has supported and helped me along this journey. And, man, I think that's it for my belt journey because I don't have any... What comes next? Is it brown belt? I have 0 brown belt locks. I have plenty of other locks that I still want to learn, to practice, and to figure out. So don't get me wrong, I'm not done picking. You've not seen the end of Jeff picking. But, yeah, I guess it's the end of my belt journey unless I can luck into or trade into some brown belt and other higher locks. So, with that, thanks for coming along. Thanks again for everyone who has encouraged me along the way and given me advice. And with that, I'll talk to you all later.